Welcome back, everybody, to Pull Hook Golf, the podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cook. Tonight, we've got Buttsy with us as our co-host. We've also got our tour insider joining us a little bit later, Mr. Brent Grant. And boy, oh boy, do we have a show for you. First off, we've got the tee-off report. Then we've got the Hero World Challenge. We're going to preview that, or what there is of that, I should say. And then we've got the other TGL. If you missed the Thanksgiving debacle, or debate, I should say, around the TGL, the indoor golf lane. That's, and by the way, what's funny is you can't even see the live anymore because it was too damn long that we ended up having to remove it. Because it got into some weird places that night, but it was an absolute blast talking about it. You can hear the podcast recording version of it that we cut some of it out and we shortened it because I think it was, what did I say it was? We were on like 3 hours and 30 minutes or something like that. It was something ridiculous.
Dude, it was a doozy.
But this is the other TGL. This one should be a lot less controversial, but we'll see. I didn't think the TGL was going to get that heated. You adding in Brent adds a little fire.
I thought you and
sometimes.
Brent were going to physically fight.
I just wanted him to stick to a definition of what a money grab is. And that's the funny thing is, yes, at the end of the day, of course it's a money grab, but it's not any worse than some of these other ones. It's not as bad as the match that's coming up. I don't know.
Man. You got that right. How's that tea? What kind of tea?
Dude, I got a peppermint tea with, I added some local honey as well. That's kind of my way of soothing my voice, but you can hear it's a little raspy tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very impressed with how put together you actually are because I know how you feel.
It's something. It's kind of like being drunk without being drunk. Now, the other side to this is we also have the Swannies style segment and then LIV Golf news. That's where we're going to break it all down. But we do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Swannies Golf, which, folks, we don't even need to add in the Pull Hook Golf promo code right now because they are still running their Black Friday sale. So you still got 30% off. Hop over to swannies.co and get 30% off of everything right now, which is awesome. Highly recommend the Black Swan line. I almost said Black Label. It's actually, I'm wearing the t-shirt that is part of the Black Swan line as well. And the damn thing is like silk. They really outdid themselves when it came to high quality craftsmanship on the recent line that is Black Swan. It's meant to be their high-end line, and man, did they hit the nail on the head. So go over to swannies.com.
Looks like lunar bear fur.
Did you say lunar bear fur? I've never, I don't know what, I feel like I should know what lunar bear is.
Yeah, it looks like authentic lunar bear.
God, that would be great if it was.
I think it might be.
I hope PETA doesn't come try to pour something red on me or something. Which I heard the greatest line in Yellowstone, by the way. Yellowstone, the show. Yeah. You know, Beth, the character, she went after the hippie woman and she goes, it makes no sense to pour red paint all over somebody's mink coat because all they're going to do because they're rich is go out and buy another one. And it's actually a pretty good point. I mean, you're actually kind of killing two animals if you do that stuff. So, PETA, watch out.
It's like those people that threw paint all over the Mona Lisa or whatever it was. All right, dude, great.
Yeah, I get it. You don't like oil. Very good.
You ruined a priceless piece of artwork.
Those were the same people, I believe, that were out at the PGA Tour event in Hartford last year.
Yeah, it's remember Occupy Wall Street? Remember that whole deal?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we covered that.
Oh, did you?
Oh, we did. You covered it too, yeah.
There's a lot I don't remember.
Yeah, that's pretty typical. Now, as we get into it here, we've got the tee-off report with Buttsy. You ready for this, man?
Yeah, shoot it.
All right. So I was thinking, many golfers, especially around the holidays, when it comes to gifts, I don't know about you, but I have been one of these golfers that I have such custom stuff that like it's impossible to give me like a good golf gift, especially if you're not in the know
Yeah.
around golf.
Yeah.
So I pose this to you. As many golfers like me have had a terrible time receiving golf gifts during the holidays, what's the worst gift you've been given that's golf related?
Oh man, there's so many that are equal on that front. Um, I'm gonna name a few if that's all right. I've received a lot of
Absolutely.
really bad, and
Let it
you
rip.
have to you bear it with a smile, right? And thank you so much. This is gosh, I'm just gonna use this so much. Uh, a really shitty, cheap putting mat, a chipping net, uh, FootJoy Green Joys for golf shoes, um, a weather soft glove, to name a few. Yeah. Uh, two-piece Surlyn covered golf balls. The guy at the store told me that these Callaways are good. And I'm like, how much were these? And they're like, oh, they're pretty expensive. They were like 23 bucks. So, to name a few, yeah, cheap shit, not in the know, hack fest fucking gifts.
Yeah, I basically got to a point to where I told everybody related to me or around me, do not buy me anything golf related.
Oh,
And
but she's bringing shit out right now. I'm probably about to go throw it in the trash.
they obliged. The worst was when I really became serious about golf and I was playing Pro V1s, and all of a sudden, you got the relative that found 2 packs of Top Flights at their local Marshalls. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, hell of a deal. He's going to love them.
Oh, yeah.
Brings them, and I'm just like, what am I going to do with this? This is brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like God, like a bracelet score counter, something like that. Yeah. There's some
Yeah.
really bad ones. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you're gonna buy for a golfer, you better damn well do the research and maybe just take a peek through his or her bag, as a starting point.
For
Buy
sure.
something that's in there already.
Got a nice little comment here from Kyle over at Cart Barn, guys. He is starting early. In golf, as it is in life, it is the follow through that makes the difference. A lot of pros will have you practice just to follow through and have you hold it and then swing from in reverse from there. Oh, this could get interesting tonight. And we got Trot Golfer interacting with Kyle, mentioning that it's the body getting through. It's all about the finish, Kyle. And then I think this is in regards to what we were talking about. Trot said, at 13 years old, doesn't orange Top Flights from aunt and uncle. Aunts and uncles are the best when it comes to that, especially if they don't play golf.
Yeah, I know you like to hit those little balls around. I got these for you. Knew you would love them. Yeah. Don't love them. Thanks.
All right. Let's move on from the tee off report. I feel like that got me fired up, ready to go with a little bit of a wheeze and a cough. So let's keep it moving.
Cough. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it moving because we've got somebody to add in. I think he just disappeared too. This is hilarious.
He said he's having problems. I just saw a text pop up, said he can't get in.
He's in. He is officially in. He's got a haircut. I can see that. He's in the green room right now. So we're gonna bring him on. And that's our tour insider, Mr. Brent Grant. Give it up for the guy.
Oh, there he is.
The fans love him.
What is up, Sarge? Holy shit.
You do look like you're straight out of your... I don't even know what to say. Like you just joined the army. Is there something you need to tell us? Oh my God. And he's got a jug of water.
Oh, dude.
Dude, this is brilliant. Oh, there's going to be a lot of comments around this one. Private Brent.
PG. That's PG.
How you doing, Brent? Can anybody hear Brent? Nobody can hear him. Brent, we got an audio problem for you, bud. Did you plug in your headphones?
He looks like he's going to be monitoring the sonar on a battleship right now with those fucking headsets.
Brent, where's your mic, though? You plugged in the receiver. Where's your actual mic? No, where's the mic?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there we go. He's here.
Can you hear me now? Sorry, I'm a
It's
little,
like, no,
a little
not your
discombobulated
receiver.
this evening. A little discombobulated this evening.
So do you have
But
breaking
we're just going
news
to put that right there.
Hey, do you have breaking news for all of us, Brent, that you've decided not to go to Q school and you decided to join the Marines?
He looks like Forrest Gump right after his leg restraints came off.
The one time I don't wear a hat.
Oh my God. I've seen you without a hat. It does not normally look that high and tight. Holy shit.
Hey, Trotty. Good to see you, buddy. A long time no see.
Run, Forrest!
Run!
Just
We
bringing
need
the
a
entertainment. It's
We
not
need
even
a
Butsy's. Butsy's soapbox can kiss my ass.
Oh, man. Love you.
Oh, Jesus. Missed you
Hey,
guys. It's been a long
Private
week.
Brent.
Fuck.
Private Brent, did you? I mean, I don't even know where to take it from here. I mean, we're supposed to talk about the Hero World Challenge preview, but I almost feel like we've got to talk about your first day of training,
Boot camp.
boot camp. Where are you right now? By the way, are you in a hotel room?
I am, and I apologize for the terrible connection. Horrible Hilton Honors connection.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Santa Clarita up at a Hilton Garden Inn. That's how it's done at Q School, boys.
Wow.
You got to do what you got to
Yep.
do. Better than a tent.
Did you? I mean,
Hey,
before you
nice
left,
king-size
did you go
bed.
to your
I'm
barber, or did you end up going to the closest barber shop in town?
I actually had this haircut the last time I saw you guys. I just
No chance.
had a hat over it. But
No way.
yeah, this is just the way. This is the way the barber. This is the way it's done. So,
This is your
I
normal
think I had
cut.
it done. Maybe not. I don't remember.
I feel like I'm watching Full Metal Jacket right now.
No, soul brother, too buku.
Oh,
son
man.
of a bitch.
Anyways, what's going
That's
on, boys?
Well, you were listening into Butsy's soapbox, which were gifts, terrible golf gifts.
What did I miss?
As a serious golfer, have you ever received a terrible golf gift from like a relative or significant other or parents or, anybody?
Actually, yeah, and it was one of the funniest Christmases, I think. One of the few, well, we didn't have many where everybody was together, but one of the few where my dad was there. My mom got me a weighted club training aid, one of those grip, the blue, the really heavy blue 8-iron, right? And my dad takes it and makes a full swing, and at the top of his backswing smashes the lights that were on the ceiling.
Oh,
and
no.
just and needless to say, that was a long time.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so did that all come through without any breaking or anything like that? Okay, all right. So your connection to me is a little slow, but you guys are hearing everything from me.
No, you're fine on my end.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Good. So you guys coming my way are a little slow sometimes, but as long as I'm getting out there, everybody else gets it out there. But
not a very nice thing.
Hold
to
on,
say,
what do we got? I was on
yeah,
Spaces.
that's really not
Spaces. What that Josh Butler Buttsy is slow. I could use the other word, but that would be a little unkind. What is this?
I've been working on it.
A couple nights ago. It's
going to
pro
classes.
live fans over PGA Tour clowns who still don't get it and who will learn soon how all of this
you
works.
can't just
What
read
is he
it to
trying
yourself,
to say? I guess Mr. Schoen. What is he trying to say?
It's Brian Shane. So Brian Shane typed in here that or commented. I was on Spaces I was on a Spaces event a couple nights ago with some pro live golf fans, and we're PGA Tour fans. He says, clowns who still don't get it, and how we'll learn soon how this works. Interesting. So there still is, by the way, this awesome hatred for us and because the diehard radical live golf fans on Twitter, especially, or X, are just an absolute catastrophe for humanity. Like these kids that they just, I don't even know how to put it. Like they drank the sauce so hard that they don't even know that like we're neutral on live golf. We're not the enemy here. So I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm actually I put my hat in the ring for anybody that wants a good player on the team.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about it a couple weeks ago, but it's just a weird one. I mean, they're kind of in la la land. They're in their own world, I'll say. They're in their own little bubble. So we shall keep it moving, keep it grooving. Let's talk about the Hero World Challenge. This is taking place in Albany in the Bahamas. And with Tiger being out after his 6th back surgery, my question is, since we had such a heated debate around the TGL, is, Brent, what the hell are you doing? All I'm hearing,
bubble wrap.
All I'm fucking hearing is crack, snackle, pop out of the entire freaking microphone. Jesus Christ! Get this kid a Snickers. So with the whole debate over the TGL, do you think Tiger's going to be ready for the TGL?
Are you asking me?
I hope so, because that's about the only thing. Exactly. I mean,
sorry,
if the whole thing that he's invested in, right? I mean, we all know that.
How does that work?
Golf,
like,
so there's 4 players per team.
No,
however, only 3 guys play.
He can't withdraw from the TGL like he has like every other event, though, right? Like, what does he withdraw from the TGL?
The one thing that I don't know about the TGL is that whether or not you can sub in. So, like, you're going 3-on-3 for the first 6 holes. And you, from there, go head to head, but it's literally 1 player versus 1 player for a hole. So you're basically 3 players. So it would go like the first player on the team plays 1 hole, next player on the team plays the next hole, and then the next one, the third player does. I don't know if you could like sub in people that haven't been in yet.
Maybe like he gets one of those, gosh, what if he's like, nope, hang on. And then have you seen those like custom wheelchairs where they like stand the guy up and his legs are strapped in?
I've had that guy in my golf simulator before at the PGA show.
What if Tiger, like, no withdrawal clause, he just finishes the hole like in one of those? He wouldn't allow himself to be seen in one of those, right?
I don't know.
One of those mech bots.
I love how we got our comments back. That's great.
But we don't. I mean, you don't need to walk in this, so that's right. One of the positives for Tiger. I mean, but he doesn't even look like he's walking good right now.
No. I mean, I saw him in Mexico late last year after he had just got a bunch of shots and kind of into his ankle and whatnot, and he was walking pretty gingerly. I asked him just flat out. I was like, "Dude, are you going to keep playing?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, I'm going to keep getting healthy and keep playing and hopefully, can be out there with you guys." And, obviously for somebody like me, that's pretty incredible to hear. But the TGL stuff, I mean, again, right? I mean, this is all centered around making sure that these guys are the stars of the show. And there's no bullshit coverage that you're going to say, well, we missed a shot here or missed a shot there. Yeah. These guys are all going to get the marketing that they all deserve. And certainly that we all wished would happen. Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, no, on a serious note, like, honestly, it's, I thought I gave this a lot of thought, and I really, truly believe that I really did. I believe that this type of coverage is what the PGA Tour needs. And this is how they should promote all of their players. But it just so happens that the richest man in golf, at least richest player in golf, and probably the second richest player in golf, joined together to say, fuck it, we're just going to take this on ourselves and and we're going to market our guys and ourselves and make a shitload of money. And that's exactly what they're going to do. And, you know, I don't necessarily agree that it's going to complement anything because it's indoor golf, but I don't know. I spoke to my former agent who
this
is the
not
Players
TGL
Relations guy. Go ahead.
debate 2.0. This
Be
is
honest,
just,
though. Be honest.
this is
If you're
just
sitting in
will
your
Tiger play in the TGL? We're speculating.
if you're sitting in your hotel
Oh,
room
no, I'm
tonight,
sorry. I hope so.
and we weren't doing the podcast tonight, and you're in your hotel room, and the TGL came on, do you think you'd watch it?
No,
Really? Not even like, all right, let me just
no.
fucking see.
I mean, I would probably pick it more up from like highlights of like on YouTube Shorts or something like that, and be like, "Oh, that was cool," and or not, and just be, you know, kind of the same way. It's just not real golf. I mean, I would rather see, you know, guys struggling to make the cut or something like that than that'd be more riveting. But
I'd
I
rather
hope
see like
Tiger's
night
there. I mean,
golf.
we all know. Yeah, but I mean, again, and we'll talk about that. But I think the big thing is without Tiger, how much of this is kind of not. I mean, how much of it is really going to be worth it? And I think I think it's probably 85 to 90% of it's Tiger, and if he's not there, then what the hell is the point?
Maybe Charlie kicks into gear, you know?
Oh, could he
Only a couple of
sign
years.
Charlie? You think that would be like LeBron and Bronny?
Very much so, and I think they would allow it for the indoor, like non-real golf, you know. Oh, here comes Charlie, or you know, hey, we got John Daly 2 on the set tonight. Who knows?
Oh
No,
no,
what we
Brett
got
is back.
Reese's? Is that Reese's?
Brett is back to just absolutely ruining audio here.
I've been there before.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Pocket.
I
You know,
mean,
Matt, can we clear the air real quick?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Did you know that there's people that think when I pulled that taco out of my pocket that we staged that?
What? No,
They
absolutely not.
think that you
What?
knew that I had a pocket taco.
No.
I was like, if I told
What did
Matt
you do?
I brought tacos in my pocket one night.
Yeah. All of a sudden, he reaches into his pocket, pulls out this aluminum foil,
Homemade taco.
just all wrapped up, and he's like undoing it in front of the microphone. And I look to him and go, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he goes, "Pocket taco."
If I had told you that I was going to do that,
When was this?
allowed it.
I would definitely have told you, yeah, we're not doing that.
When did this happen? When did this happen?
Months ago.
Months ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyways,
okay. I was going to say, if
before
this
your
happened when I
time.
went off air, that'd have been hilarious.
No, before your time. Yeah, and it was in studio too. Tacos from the house, Trot. It was. I mean,
yeah.
Buttsy full on brought in some homemade tacos in his pocket.
Oh yeah,
I have a question for you, elder statesman. Clearly more learned than me. Do we see a possible pushback a little bit from fans? Is it out there? I guess is my question. Is there a pushback saying that this is just them trying to do the same thing with that LIV is doing, only indoor golf, because they wouldn't be able to do it without the PGA Tour's express permission if it were real golf? Because technically they're not allowed to play in events unless they get releases.
This is sanctioned by the PGA Tour.
That's what he's saying. But
They had to. Okay, I didn't realize. Okay, I didn't realize they had to sanction it for that as well. Okay,
Yeah, they've got it. PGA is a partner in this.
It's their own version of an alternative product for sure.
Okay.
And it doesn't occupy
so,
airtime of normal tour events, right? So it's just another outlet that, I think that's what we were arguing about last time. It's just another PGA Tour funded, like, money making outlet, and it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is the guys that didn't go to LIV, not get to go to LIV, because obviously they could have all gone, but I think the guys that didn't go to LIV and saw how much money is to be made. The tour owns me. Well, they own my image when I play, but that's about it.
All right, let's get into the Hero World Challenge. Let's get back to it.
I honestly believe that it's. Go ahead.
Hero.
What is this tournament to you, Buttsy? Let's start with you.
I like this tournament. This is actually one that I actually will watch. I like it. I think it's cool that they're in the Bahamas. It seems more relaxed. I don't know. I think it's fun watching them play island golf. Like, that's the extent of it for me. I like it.
But like, it's a weird time, right? So it's December. It's technically a sanctioned event. It's Tiger's event, but there's only a very small field that's been invited. I mean, does that diminish this at all?
Not to me. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's cold everywhere. It's starting to cool off. It's the holiday season, and these guys are out in the Bahamas, and I just think it's fun to watch.
Dude, we've got military boy just absolutely creating meth over there. Like, what are you doing in that hotel room? Oh, God. Brent.
No, fuck.
What?
Brent has no idea.
Sorry.
I think you could even say this is one of the top 3 events of the year.
Nighttime prep.
I think this is as good, if not, it's bigger than the Players Championship for me.
I love that.
I gotta be honest with you. You did such a good job in the beginning of trolling without me catching on. And then all of a sudden,
you didn't catch that.
The troll just came right out, and I that was an authentic just burst out of laughter because of how fucking funny that was.
I don't know.
Came out from
not
under
real
the
sure
bridge.
what's funny, but you asked me a question, I answered it.
Josh, you can't go 30 seconds without making a joke.
It's top 3 for sure.
Yeah, definitely better than the Players, and definitely better than the PGA Championship, right?
And the Masters. I mean, don't forget the Masters.
I think so. I think the golf course and how it's set up in terms of difficulty and length and the shot making that's required out there. The wind picks up. And you got Tiger out there, and everybody's scared of Tiger, and it just adds an ambiance to So it's just like a high stress tournament.
It's an ambiance.
Yeah.
Brent, are you playing tomorrow? By the way, sorry, but see, Trot threw me off here. Brent shoots 500 tomorrow. You'll be eating Reese's the night before your next round.
I'll boof Reese's.
Oh, I eat Reese's cups almost always.
Yeah, but Brent, are you playing tomorrow?
Yes, round 2 at Q School.
Dude, I didn't even realize today was round 1. That's how
today
sick
was
I've been.
Round 1?
Fuck. How is that not on our topic list? How did you not call that out? I sent this over ahead of time.
Because I don't like to talk about myself.
Is there like a bug on your table? What are you blowing there?
Yeah, what are you doing? You are like
I'm told you, I'm doing nighttime prep. I usually am not doing this is the first time I've ever done anything in the middle of a tournament. And usually I'd have my yardage book out, my golf balls to line up, and I'd be getting hydrated and putting vitamins and shit and doing all that shit tonight. So
what do you think about?
So,
dude, what'd you shoot today?
This is welcome to the show, guys.
Yeah.
What do you think about replacing baby powder with creatine?
Yeah, definitely creatine.
That's essentially what creatine is.
Don't do anything off the ban list, though.
Yeah. I thought about doing the mass gainer from GNC, but I don't want to get too big.
Brent, you're in the mode right now. So what'd you shoot today?
Yeah,
if you don't mind me asking.
Well, as my first competitive round in 3 months. So I started out pretty poorly. I was 5 over through 10. Ooh, and then I shot 3 under on the way in.
Okay. Nice work. So we're trending.
All right.
Yeah. It was a little anxious, little jittery to begin the day, and it was pretty fucking cold. It was about 50 degrees. So, but we fought through. So
love that.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
thanks,
right
Trotty.
there.
yeah,
Got
You're right
3
there.
rounds left.
now you got some momentum heading into tomorrow. I mean, you're cracked out like a crack baby on creatine right now, which is great to see. I didn't realize why you were so jittery tonight and all over the place. Now I get it. You're locked in. This is Brent Grant before the next day, folks. You are
Nice
getting
enough to hop on here and deal with
Yeah.
us tonight in the
How
middle
about
of
this shit? We almost got him heated too on the whole TGL again.
Oh my God, the
Oh
guys.
Lord.
Put it
Absolute
in my veins.
legend over here. All right. That's fantastic stuff. Well, we all are going to wish you the best of luck tomorrow. Let me go over the field
Thanks very
for
much,
the other tournament that's happening this week, which is the Hero World Challenge, going back to that. We've got Scotty Scheffler. Obviously, he's the favorite at plus 210. We've got Justin Thomas and Ludwig Oberg at plus 1,000. Patrick Cantlay at plus 1,200. Russell Henley, Sung J M, Sam Burns plus 1,400. Wyndham Clark at plus 2,000. Sahith Theegala at plus 2,200. Tommy Kim plus 2,200. Jason Day, Bobby Mack at plus 2,500. Aaron Rye plus 2,800. Cam Young or Cameron Young. I'm seeing he used to be referred to all the time as Cam Young, kind of the opposite effect as Matt and Matthew Fitzpatrick. But Cameron Young, I'm seeing Cameron all the time now. And then you got Brian Harmon, Akshay Bhatia at plus 3,000. Keegan Bradley at plus 3,300. Sepp Straka at plus 3,500. Nick Dunlap at plus 4,500. And Matthew Pavon at plus 10,000. Now, one of the things that I am going to ask you guys is the field weaker than it's been at previous Hero World Challenges? There's some people that are missing on all of this.
Did you not just hear yourself? I mean, this is a hotter field than most major championships. I'll be a little small. This is a dangerous field. This is a stronger field than they've had virtually all year.
Do you wish there was a cut at this event?
Not with that field. I'd like to see a guy that starts out not so good come back and show off what he's made of. You don't get that in a major, and you get that here.
Wow. Fantastic.
You know what's amazing? You know what's amazing is we keep talking about all these elevated events and the majors and the money.
This is
and
one
all
of them.
these cool things that these guys go and get and go do. And I think honestly, it's about one thing and one thing only. If you play at a certain level, you're going to get every opportunity. Who the fuck is Ryggs Johnston?
ASU kid.
Oh,
we'll talk about him in a little bit.
Cool. But honestly, it's amazing because I mean, like some of the perks that these guys get to go do, get to be a part of, and it's simply because they played really, really well.
You got the
the
top
Hero World
20
Challenge
in the world teeing it up this week.
Okay, well, not quite.
Dude,
not quite.
I really hope that doesn't get clipped and put on social media by our video editor this week, because poor Buttsy is going to get absolutely murdered, and nobody's going to know that he's trolling.
I have no idea why I would get murdered. Anybody that's got a brain can see that this is one of the strongest 20-man.
I mean, all you need to see is the skinny Indian kid fucking dominating out there in the Bahamas, beating everybody's ass.
The praying mantis?
Wow, Akshay, but you like Akshay this week.
Incredible. That's who I was gonna say.
I like Akshay. Yeah.
Let him get his first major under his belt here this week.
Well, Brent stole your guy there, Buttsy. Who do you like this week at the fifth major of the year?
I feel like Keegan plays a lot of island golf with Jordan, and I think he's probably the most prepared. I think we see a Keegan Bradley W. It's not going to be easy because, like I said, you got some of the best players in the world there this week, but I think he's peaking, especially this late into the season, and I'm curious to see what...
The dude hasn't played in like 4 months.
Yeah, but if you follow his social media...
Holy shit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He
Some of the
hasn't touched a
recreational
fucking
rounds,
dip
dude.
out of forever.
He shot 56 with Charles Barkley like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, son of a bitch. I hope that's true.
It is.
Wow.
He played the old course backwards.
Well, left-handed.
Oh man.
I'm glad we got the comments back, though.
That's
Come
your
on.
pick.
How about these fucking guys?
Hang on a second.
time.
Now it's my turn.
What are
for a
Keegan's
pick.
odds?
Plus 3,300. He's got the 4th worst odds.
Get
Or
rich
best
quick.
odds, technically.
Get rich quick, folks. You heard it here.
Plus
Put everything you
$100
got
on that guy.
Keegan.
Oh,
I mean, that's about as good of a bet as Brian Harmon.
He was
But
going to be my second pick.
God. Just for the absolute hell of it, I'm gonna go with Wyndham Clark.
Who would have thought?
I did it for you guys.
Okay.
Did it for you guys. I know you guys absolutely love him, huge fans of him, and yeah,
he's a good dude, actually. But like, honestly, what is this podcast without Trot Golf, Brian Shane, Cart Barn guys? I mean, these guys. I mean, this is the comments.
I'm going to tell you right now. We missed Trot Golfer last week. There were some moments to where we needed names, and he was not there. And I told him it absolutely was a tough situation. Trot this week, by the way, loves Aaron Rye. You know, Cart Barn guys, he always adds in, good old Kyle over there. He always adds in a couple motivational quotes and just things that really get you thinking. And then Brian Shane's bringing the heat tonight as well. So love that out of everybody. If you're also on X, by the way, which it's funny, we don't have any comments from X. A lot of people watch on X and don't realize that you can comment while you're watching on X. So feel free to add some comments in there as well. YouTube is popping off, obviously. But that
I would imagine it's probably because everybody's in complete agreement with my take tonight, and there's really nothing to argue.
I completely agree. And Brent Grant has gone from a military kid to a high school kid trying to write a paper at the last minute.
Is there a typewriter?
This is unreal. Is that how you type? Ding, 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 ding. I mean,
you have a keyboard?
Shit.
You travel with a keyboard?
I'm on my laptop trying to write you guys a message, fucking pricks.
Oh, God. Please don't. Anything you can say to us, you can say to the audience.
I'm going to get another soda. I'll be right back.
Oh, well, here we go. There we go. Boom.
There it is.
There's my
Brian
boy.
checking in on Twitter. Trot's over on X.
That guy agrees with me on
and
everything.
To it. Brian Harmon to win the Open Championship. That's a great call.
Hey, I just looked. So we're looking at...
Kyle, that's a great point. To our video editor, we need clips of all the noises that Brent has made so far on the pod.
Sorry, I usually don't do that, guys. Come on, give me a break here.
We're looking at 15-mile-an-hour gusts, day one hero. And if you don't think that this is some of the most challenging golf that you're going to see these guys play all year, and the shots that they're going to have to manufacture, you got the top 20 in the world.
In the world?
Yeah. It's a dangerous field. It's a dangerous field. These 20 guys would beat anybody on the planet.
I think if we get enough audience members to chime in who they're going to pick and everybody picks somebody different, somebody's going to win this week.
Well, as golfers, we all win because we get to watch.
There's only 20 people to pick from. So
we get to watch the best play at a beautiful golf course under the toughest conditions that you'll see all year. So.
You know who's missing this week?
Jordan.
He's won. Who's another?
Justin Spieth.
Who's won this tournament multiple times?
Schauffele. Patrick. Oh, the guy that cheats in the same bunker back-to-back years. Patrick Reed.
No, he's on LIV. Oh. Didn't Victor Hovland win this 2 times in a row?
I assume so, but I think he's pretty much checked out.
Yeah, he's been playing well enough to get the call up to play with this field.
Xander's been promoting. You know, you got Billy Horschel out there who's had a hell of a year. Trot Golfer loves him. So,
who are you taking, Matt? Wyndham?
Yeah, I actually forgot. That really wasn't my pick. I just wanted to feed you guys. But I'm going with him now. That's
I heard
my
you
pick.
got caught licking a dumbbell after he set it down.
It smelled delicious.
The dumbbell?
Never know. Now, the Grass League. This is local here in Arizona, happening out in Tempe. It already took place once prior. Now they've got their next event coming up this Thursday, December 5th and 6th. It's going to be a 5 p.m. shotgun. It's going to be live on Peacock at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Tell me, guys, what's your opinion on this league? Well, we're going to get to that, Buttsy.
I think the Grass League is dope, dude. You got to hit golf shots. You got to make putts. And they've created a flat-out arena out there where you could tell. Like, if you tune into it at all, you can tell these guys are, like, feeling the pressure. And these aren't full-time pros. Like, these are Joes. And they're really good Joes, but they're feeling pressure that they've never felt in their lives out there playing par 3 golf.
There are live players playing.
Who?
What?
I believe Rahm's playing, actually.
No, he's
not.
That's what I heard. Yeah. That's what I heard.
He's
been wrong. I don't know.
No, he's not.
He's a big disguise
he's
on
not in the field.
Not in the field. Okay. Well, that guy was full of shit.
Hang on. Let me pull up, especially since you just mentioned that.
You might want to look.
There are pros.
Alias Quan Braun.
Yeah, there are
ahead,
pros,
so,
but
Brent,
the thing is none of them.
It?
Well, the sad part about this is there are guys that have made it to the tour from the Korn Ferry Tour. There are guys that aren't going to Q school that have tour status that have been barred from playing in this event due to the PGA Tour's release or lack thereof. The NBC Sports, who is putting this on, which last time I checked is one of the largest in the world, has decided that they wanted to ask the PGA Tour to jump in on this, and the PGA Tour gave them a flat no, and which meant that any and all players that asked for a release to go play this were incapable of doing so. So that immediately puts them at the top of my list of people that are just trying to fight to get a niche in golf, and the PGA Tour is kind of stifling that. But
Brent,
I hope it goes well. I know
with
some of the owners.
That there were some players, some PGA Tour guys that asked about playing in it, and they were blocked from the tour.
Correct. Yeah. I don't know if that went through, but what I just said, anyways. But basically, they have to ask for a release, which means they literally have to have their agent or themselves fill out a form. They have a conversation with somebody, and then somebody can just decide on whether or not they can go play this because they own their image. And it's one of those things that, we all believe is wrong, but lawyers from 50 years ago kind of made it in cement. So not much we can do about it.
It would be cool if there was.
But I look forward to it. I hope it's going to be good. I mean, nighttime golf is a blast.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. This is taking place. This is a par 3 golf course. I mean, technically there's some par 4s during the day, but it's a lighted par 3 golf course called Grass Clippings, hence the name Grass League that comes out of it. And there are some teams. So the very first one was interesting, but these teams have changed a little bit. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but, there were some no-namers on a lot of these teams originally. And what you're going to notice this week is that there are some people that have some names. Like, for instance, we've got
some notoriety.
If I go up here, let's see if I can find the pairings, because I was kind of surprised. I'm like, George Gankis is playing, which, if you know him as a golf instructor, mainly on Instagram, I feel like. But yeah, you've got, let's see, I don't know either of them.
What the hell is George Gankis going to do? Give everybody a lesson before they tee off? Like, what's he going to do?
So that's feature group number 4. This
Mike
one,
Powell.
Allison Lee, I have heard of her. Trey Kidd, I don't know. Ken
Grew up in Hawaii.
Tanigawa. I mean, he's part of the Muskies, you know?
Oh,
You've got
that guy
Brad
has won
Dahlke
a
from
lot of
Good
illegal
Good.
skins.
You got Good Good's Brad Dahlke. You've got whoever Clay Sieber is. That's another group there. Let's see. Here's Gankis, and he's playing for United. Yeah, with Nick Mason. Okay.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, don't know those guys. But then we've got Freezer Tarps and DOD King playing on a team. That's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, that'll be a fun group.
Like, talk about entertainment, you know what I mean? And then we've got Sox, Drew Stoltz, and Drew Kittleson are playing for the Muskies. You've got Marty Fish and Mark Mulder. Mark Mulder's the former baseball player. I believe Marty Fish was a pro
pitcher.
Well, Marty Fish, wasn't Marty a tennis player? And then Mark Mulder is the pitcher.
Yeah, Marty Fish, yeah. Yep.
But these guys play in the celebrity golf tournaments all the time, like the competitive ones. So that's how I know of them two. Ben Herman, I don't know from the Swamp Dogs. Phil Kessel just looks like he drinks a lot of beer. Look at that guy.
Ben Herman's the owner of Silverleaf.
Go back to Ben Herman.
Right here.
I know. If that's the Ben Herman.
It is.
It's him?
Yep, that's him.
Yeah, Ben can flat out play some golf. He owns Silverleaf.
Okay.
Yes, he does.
There you go. Hence why he has a team in this.
He probably bought that team and probably 3 or 4 others.
So that's pretty cool. That and then the one caveat to this whole thing, and I am a big supporter of it. I think what they're doing is awesome. I think it's very tough to do what they're doing with starting a brand new golf league. So I give them all the credit in the world when it comes to this grass league, and I'm going to support them as much as possible. But it is a little disappointing that we're not involved in this. Like, I'm a little frazzled. Like, I looked into and I talked to the guys originally about buying a team, but I'm sorry, it was a pretty penny to buy a team. I'm not going to drop the amount.
$100,000.
Yeah. There you go. There you have it. But wouldn't you love to see a team pull hook on there? I mean, that just rings.
Yeah.
Like that just sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I'd like to be out there. It looks like fun.
Yeah. So we're going to see if we can make something happen just by talking about it. But yeah, so that's happening this Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time on Peacock. And let's get back to the notes here. There was about a year and a half ago, too, by the way. And I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on this. I kind of mentioned this to Buttsy earlier. I showed him some text messages to where, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, when LIV Golf was obviously still in its infancy and everything, I was like, it would be a better concept is having these golf teams, and Brent's just leaving. He's just like, I'm done with this conversation. But having a golf league that was on a par 3 course, lighted, but you had your own course, and guys would go play another team. And so you would have like your advantages, especially if you got to design the course. So like Buttsy, let's say that your short game is incredible, which it is, right? And your wedges are great. So maybe one team's got shorter par 3s with a lot of undulation. So you have to have a lot of touch around the greens. Like you could build these like par 3 courses throughout the country and have each team have its own stadium. And then you could set up these head-to-head matchups. That's where I kind of see this going.
So we did have something like that back when I was like 22. I got invited when the Gateway Tour was going on, and you had the Big Break. Remember that?
Oh yeah, of course.
So like there was 5 teams. They were funded by a big real estate group. And what you're saying, they kind of did that, but what they were doing is like, you'd play out of like Los Angeles. So like when the Vegas team would come here and the other 3 teams would fly in to play, the Los Angeles team, you would go out, it was daytime, and they would set up different par 4s on the course, and it was all par 3s, right? And it was called the National Golf League. They spent a shitload of money on it. I'm talking like huge team tents behind the 9th hole, loud music. That was like the big party hole or whatever.
Sure.
It was super cool, and it lasted for a season. Everybody got paid every event, super cool, and then no more sponsors, and it fizzled out. But yeah, to your point, there was home tracks that each team was kind of affiliated with.
That's why we're super early on with the Grass League, which is why I don't think we can really critique it, or because it is very tough to do what they're doing, and they're starting to get the support behind it. Having NBC be a part of this with Golf Now and with Peacock, like that is a big deal within, having a platform and getting the type of audience that you need to survive.
Well, here's the other thing, right? You didn't have social media then, and you didn't
Good point.
and you didn't have fucking 100 million people consuming YouTube golf and consuming a product that was less than watching the best in the world play every week, right? Like now it's normal. It's pretty normal to be affiliated with Bob Does Sports or like whatever. Like you're going, oh, they dropped a new episode. Let me go watch all this other golf content I can consume. And I think now, like, it's poised where something like this takes off, like because of that. There's a place for it. There's a place where less than tour players are interesting to a huge audience, and it can get shared and shared and shared again.
I have to totally
Well
agree.
said. That was well said.
That was well said. Good work there, Buttsy.
Thanks.
Love that from you. Brent, you have no idea what we're even talking about at this point, so we're going to move
I assume you're still talking about the Grass League, but there are some interesting things about that, and one of the little known things is that there are owners.
It's a bit of a money grab, but we don't need to get into that.
Well, but no, I respect what they're doing, and I think it's great that they're trying to build something, and they tried to bring in the PGA Tour, and they're doing it because it's fun, and grass clippings is a great fun track that you can play at night, and it usually hosts like 30 to 50 man skins games where they all play in the same group and all that other stuff, and it's a big thing in Scottsdale, Tempe area, and it just so happens that a guy like Ben Herman, who's a billionaire, by the way, Coach Roberts from the Dodgers owns one of the teams.
The Roses,
like you said, NBC Sports, exactly. So at the end of the day, with as many great players in Scottsdale as there are in Phoenix, it's amazing that they have an opportunity to showcase their talent. And what better way to do it than fucking off in the middle of the night at a par 3 course where you can just talk shit and have a blast and go make some money. So I'm excited for it. I wish it was a different time, but
I couldn't wrap my head around for the longest time why people are consuming all this alternative shit. And it's like, oh yeah, like people are just as into it. You can suck 50% more than a tour player, but if you got 50% more personality, then people are watching it. You don't have to be good. You just need to be entertaining and like somewhat good. And there you go. God, I said that really well too.
He absolutely had me.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, at the end of the day, how many golfers do you guys know that are solid +4, +5, +6 players that play in these little games around here, but never get an opportunity, either because they work for a living or whatever, that don't get an opportunity to really make some serious cash with their games. And
there's a ton of high quality working.
Our very own Kyle Mays is a great example of that.
Oh, Kyle's talented for sure.
He's incredible. Yeah,
he should definitely be out there on a team. Like that's crazy.
I agree. I'm not really sure why. He must have been asked. Maybe not. But
he probably turned it down.
Think so?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Let's ask him.
I feel like
Kyle?
I need to be scared by something to go and start Like I need the motivation to go start training and actually hitting balls and taking it seriously. Kyle says no invite. So there you have it. Straight from the source.
Really odd.
But I feel like being on Peacock and under the lights at a par 3 course, that would be motivation enough not to embarrass myself. Like on the YouTube channel stuff that we've got coming out next year, I feel like I'm fine being embarrassed on there. That's perfectly fine. I don't feel like I have to be that good in order to have a good time and show some personality and, win matches.
Yeah. My problem is I'm just a walking bleep. You know what I mean? Just bleep after bleep. And just bleep this and yeah.
You can contain it though. That's the thing about you. You just can't be hammered.
Yeah.
If you were semi sober, then a lot of that doesn't come out. It's only when you are heavily drinking and the filter comes off and everything starts to fly.
Just
just a slight diarrhea of the mouth. All right, Swanee style segment. We're gonna get real quick through this, and then we're gonna talk about the big one, the LIV Golf news. All right, so we've got the Swanee style segment, starting with you, Buttsy. What is your favorite golf shoe brand?
Oh God, well, I'm partial to Stroll. They're new on the scene. They're pretty good, but there's a company that sent me some shoes over the last few years, and they're an ode back to, remember FootJoy Classics when they had the leather bottom,
the icon.
Yeah, so this company, it's called Lambda, and they're just a handmade, high quality dress shoe with golf spikes. They take a few rounds to break in, like old shoes used to, but once you get them broken in, I mean, they're candy on your feet. They look the part. So, big fan of those.
Okay, hang on one second. We're going to pause. Trot Golfer wants to... I wasn't going to mention it, but I'll say that, and I don't know how much they go for now. Like, if you were to buy...
It was 100,000.
It was 100K. That's why when I reached out to them and was in conversations, I was like, hey, I want to have Pull Hook. And I kind of wanted to see, I'm like, who would the owner need to be? Because we want to play in it. Because that's the other thing. The owners can't play. So that's kind of one of those things where, like, Ben Martin, I don't know if he bought it.
Ben Herman.
Or Herman.
And what exposure is that guaranteeing not only the players, but like if a company sponsors it or whatever, like what are you getting marketing wise on the other end? Like where's that being broadcast? Is your shit going to show up on Peacock? Is there going to be a commercial break that shows? I think
you have to buy into the concept really in order to spend that amount of money, unless you just have a lot of money to spend.
That's what I'm saying. There's the concept.
Yeah, I think it goes back to
what are you getting for your money, besides the spot to play?
I think it's probably got to go back to the same sort of idea that we talk about all the time, which is, what are these guys really attempting to do? And at 100,000, I don't know what it is now. I'm sure it's more, but at $100,000, there are guys that look at that number and
he's frozen.
That's
move your head like this. So, maybe you can get a better connection.
Whomever is running the grass league
is absolutely frozen there.
Good friends with all these people.
The best part about this is now I can't get Forrest Gump out of my head.
I mean, are you kidding? Absolutely right.
These funds,
I mean, unbelievable. And what? By the way, since he's frozen and can't really hear us, and he won't hear this until after tomorrow, it is incredible that he had the ability to go 5 over and then shoot 3 under on the back and save the entire thing.
Oh, he probably goes low tomorrow too.
Oh, I think he goes stupid low tomorrow. I'm expecting. I mean, that momentum and so forth. Yeah, I figured he would eventually disappear from this, and it's okay if he doesn't come back, because one of the things that I do want to be cognizant of is the fact that he's got to play tomorrow.
Yes, is he ahead of us time wise? Do we know?
Yeah, he is.
Yes, it's late there. He might have done that on purpose. Just pulled the plug out and didn't tell us with his toes.
That's completely fine. Oh no, he's back. Oh no, he's back. He's back.
Sorry, boys.
Brent, by the way, you're in Texas right now, right?
No, I'm in Santa Clarita, California.
Oh, why did I? Oh my God. Yeah, I'm completely out of it. Kyle was so fast.
Thanks, Cal.
It's like, no, he's in Cali.
God, I thought he was at Bethpage.
Okay, so right now it's 7 o'clock your times. But if you need to jump so that you get rest, okay,
we're
perfect.
good. Yep.
So,
did you guys miss what I said there? Or
no,
we missed it completely.
Okay, cool.
I heard it all.
I did actually. I did talk to the guy that runs the skins game at Mountain Shadows, and
Mike.
Yeah, we talked about it
Mike.
actually quite a bit. And I was like, basically what happened, and he threw out that number, and he kind of threw out some names, and what it seems like is all of the people that come to Scottsdale and Tempe and Phoenix to play spring ball, coaches, owners, whatever, players in some cases, are all swinging into this as well. Some of the people from the MLB, and then obviously there are no less than a dozen high level owners of golf courses and whatnot that all love golf, and Ben Herman being one of them. So I don't know. I hope this thing blows up.
Hang on. We got to go to this real quick. So just a PSA. If anybody knows a really rich guy that just wants to throw out $100,000 and be the owner of our team for the Pull Hook Golf team, we would love to. And the only way that I would change the name on this is if we had the opportunity, since there is not a Utah franchise, if we could end up being the Utah Soakers. That's the only way.
I was thinking we'd be the Pensacola Peter Whackers.
I think that's actually one of the teams. I mean, I don't know if we could have a Canadian team, but
there's already a Canadian team.
Yeah, shit.
You gotta have.
I mean, powder
I really think the Utah Soakers would be big.
The Austin
Utah
Assholes.
Soakers.
Oh God, that'd be so funny.
Oh, because I get it.
You gotta have some Mormon friends in order to know what that is. Oh God, that's good. I do actually know the owner of Asher.
Hang on. One last thing.
Sorry.
While it's on the tip of my tongue.
Literally.
And the logo would just be that emoji with the three water drops.
I think it would just be us, but like we're on a wave. Naked.
Dude, I mean, there's something to this. Gotta love the Soakers. So, as Dylan Vodry just mentioned.
That's beautiful. What are you drinking there? Water?
People would really get behind it. Dude, I've been so sick. So this is a big thing of water. I got through a peppermint tea with honey.
Yeah, no, the Brigham Soakers, man.
You gotta drink. Is Buttsy on the Coke right now?
You can't say that on the podcast.
Is he on the Coca-Cola?
Oh, jeez. Clarify that. It's Diet
Coke.
Yeah,
Diet Coke. I guess kind of right.
Jeez. Calling the poor guy out. All right.
Well, he doesn't do that stuff.
No.
The Utah Soakers. Man.
I do know. I mean, I don't know. The owner of the Utah Jazz would probably step up.
Yeah, we're the Brigham Young Temple Soakers, man.
Dude, I would feel fine about there's already 2 Arizona teams, if not 3 at this point. So I'd be pretty good with the Utah franchise.
Absolutely.
I'm playing for them.
Yeah. A lot of money up there too.
Get that Mormon money.
Find somebody.
Yeah. Could be great.
Need somebody in the oil business. Somebody doesn't give one fuck.
I know a guy. I'm telling you, bro, the Odessa.
I've been watching a lot of Landman too lately. Have you seen that show?
Is it good? Is it good?
Oh, it's great.
I gotta watch it.
It's great. I got one of my buddies who played on the good old Corn Ferry. He's after he was done playing his year, he went and got into the oil business out there in Odessa, Texas. So
bless him.
Tough biz.
Yeah, the toughest.
All right, I didn't even say what Brent. Whose golf shoe did you mention?
I didn't, but I did. I have gotten to know Massimo Giannulli over the last month or so.
Really?
And yeah, he's a member of the plantation. He did for 5 months.
Oh, okay. It's jail.
And and honestly, I've worn FootJoys for a very long time. and I do like them very much. But the G4 shoe they've got so many different types of shoes. They've got shoes for guys like myself that don't like a lot of heel drop, and they've got guys, like nice walking shoes with a lot of heel.
Did you just say heel drop?
Heel drop.
Heel drop,
the
dude.
size of the heel.
They are really good.
You need a good heel on there.
No, I need a smaller heel, flatter shoe.
Smaller heel.
The G4s are absolutely awesome. Right. They don't hold up over time though for me, but I mean, there's a lot of weight pushing.
You create a lot of torque.
Well, they
do create a lot of torque.
They have a really nice outer leather like layer, but then the inside's all like foam and fake shit. And for me, like they turn into a slipper after about a round.
Yeah, I always wonder because they have the one that is basically like a FootJoy, like a dry joy or anything like that. And I've always wondered if they can put spikes in them. And then I asked Mr. Giannulli, and he's like, "Fuck yeah, dude. Whatever you want, let's go." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." He's the man. Cool. He's cool as fuck. Cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my two that I normally am always between. You guys probably already know this. They are the Air Jordans and then G4s. Those are kind of my two that I normally lean towards. But I have not had a classic FootJoy because I used to rock those earlier in the day. It's like the fancy ones with the wood soles and stuff. Like I love those.
I'll second that, Matt, with the Jordans. Like I'm not trying to flex this. It was cool while it lasted, but I used to get shit from Nike. And when the Jordan golf shoe first came out, before it became like mainstream, and it had a really solid sole on it, you could actually get like the real Jordan 3, right? Or whatever, like high top with a hard plastic, real spikes on the bottom. Like that was probably the best.
I've got the 12s.
Yeah. So those are awesome. Yeah. They're super supportive.
I would wear those. I would probably wear those if they were the Jordan 1 lows. I would probably wear those every day, no matter what, if they could put spikes on them. I absolutely would wear them because you can wear them with anything, shorts or pants. It doesn't matter.
They 100.
Good. True Links are good if you don't have a problem developing flat feet
and don't have any ground force at all.
Yeah, they're just laterally, they're not good. But if you're not worried about that for footwork, they're really comfortable for sure.
100% agree. But that's kind of the thing, right? Is that I got a name for your GL team name, the Third Legs? That's only accounts for one of us, and it's not me.
Not me.
The amazing thing is, like with shoes, though, have you guys found? Because we all hit it out there. Have you guys found that on a certain type of grass, like it is virtually, it doesn't matter what type of shoe you wear, you're not staying on the ground. Like for me, that's like, it's like Zoysia. Like
when we go up north, that happens to me. When we go up to anything that is well watered and has like an anything like overseed, like a soft grass that's got a mushy or a muddy kind of base, it looks like a horse walked around.
Even the puffy Bermuda sometimes, even though that can grip a little bit easier, but the Zoysia for sure.
Yeah.
And that's where normally I'll wear spikes when I'm playing in that type of grass.
Yeah, I don't have a choice. I remember one time I was playing in Wichita and they had a all Zoysia tee box and it was kind of slanted in a certain direction. I literally missed the golf ball. I slipped so bad in metals that I literally missed the golf ball. And I wear metals everywhere. And to answer your question, Kyle, yes, I'm wearing metal every day of my life.
There it is.
It doesn't matter. I can see them all. But,
but you are so lower body.
400 pounds of,
You know what's funny about seeing your swing, though, as you captured the perfect impact moment and sent it over to Buttsy and I have to say, I didn't realize your hips aren't that open at impact. I mean,
his hips aren't open, but dude, he gets so much out of the ground. Like,
dude, he's like a little boxer. He's like a little Marine, just throwing haymakers,
like a jockey.
Yeah, you guys remember Rory's kind of old move, right? When he kind of had his hips kind of did that thing, right? And then it did that like right before he went backwards.
Yeah.
It's incredible because his hips do get there, right? But the first initial whip actually comes from like right pre-impact. It's like
Mhm.
boop, boop, and then it flips, and then he goes, and then he has to release it so hard, otherwise he would miss the golf ball because he's so underneath, or at least he used to be. Now he's not the same way.
Okay, we do want to give a shout out to Ryggs Johnston. Played for ASU, and he went over. He qualified Q School over for the DP World Tour, and in his first event, he goes out and wins it. So a little round of applause for
Australian
Ryggs at the Aussie Open.
He won the Aussie Open
As an American. Oh, the
Oh,
Aussie
yeah.
fans were pissed because, and Cam Smith did say it in advance of the tournament. He goes, the way this golf course is set up is a shame because it's set up like an American golf course this week, and it is not set up like our Aussie golf courses. So
What the
does
hell
that
is an
mean?
Aussie
Soft?
course set up like, though? What does that mean?
I think they like it a little bit drier, and they like
Well,
it to be able to
dumped.
roll out a bit.
It dumped for like a week. I mean, the Australian PGA was a joke because it
So
was,
it was too
underwater,
soft.
right?
Well, that's what Cam Smith was. He said they had enough time in order to fix
Bullshit.
things, but he felt like they purposely tried to make it like an American style golf
I
course.
sincerely doubt that.
Why?
It like rained like a foot. You're not getting that out in 6 days. No chance. That's bullshit. Especially in that climate. If it was going to dry out, it would have dried out. I mean, it's not like all of a sudden. That's a shame.
Did he really say it like in such a negative light?
That's what
Maybe he was
was.
disappointed.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way. I don't know exactly what he said, so I am
At this point,
paraphrasing.
do these guys does their opinion even matter? I mean, at this point, I mean, these guys have all been fucking 100 millionaire over and over. Does it matter
Well,
anymore?
it matters in an Aussie event because he's kind of
Yeah, I guess.
By the way, I will state this, that the headline did read Cam Smith criticizes Aussie golf course. So
Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, I'm glad Ryggs won. That's incredible. He's an ASU grad, is that right?
that's correct.
Fuck yeah, good for him.
Second start too.
Oh shit.
he's
So-
a devil.
Yeah. Way
And
to
these
go
college
there.
kids, man, I tell you.
Is
We'll
Now,
see how
let-
many exemptions
is
he
Liv
gets
in
this year.
Dubai this week?
Probably.
Liv doesn't exist right now.
Okay, I was trying to. No, I don't know. So I talked to Pat this past weekend because we were.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I said, hey, I'm up by the house. Like, I was gonna stop by or whatever. And he's like, just landed in Dubai, and I just assumed like, oh, I don't know. I haven't followed. Like, maybe Liv's playing there.
No, I believe either DP or the Asian. I
Probably
saw
the Asian
Patrick
tour.
Reed over there.
The international series is probably over there.
Okay.
And by the way, we do have some Pat Perez news as well. We might as well get right into that
Sure.
because
Let's run it.
as we get into the Live Golf news, Pat Perez might be on the way out at Live Golf.
He was
Or
in the relegation, wasn't he?
he might, no, he wasn't in relegation.
Oh.
He got out of relegation, but he's in the open zone, which means he can be traded, released, whatever. And here's the crazy thing. So the other players on the team, because they just signed Thomas Pieters, who is a range goat, and they're bringing him onto the squad. They now have 5 players. And by the way, 3 players out of those 5, or I'm sorry, 4 players out of the 5 have contracts for next year. There's 1 player that does not, and that is Pat Perez. So is Dustin Johnson going to keep him on as a backup player, as a 5th player? That's kind of the questioning going on
Could
right
play
now.
as an individual like Anthony Kim.
He could
Yeah.
potentially.
What, AK just jumped up in the world rankings like 2,400 spots or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Made a cut.
Yeah.
He's starting to get it together. But that's where, Buttsy, I was wondering if you knew any information from good old Pat. Obviously, he's going and playing in Dubai right now.
I don't talk to him about any of that. It's more like you know, are you drinking this weekend? You want me to come by? I don't really get into the.
Did all that crap with his ex-wife go through yet? I hope he's
No
over
idea.
that. I hope he's over that. That's really too bad.
It's another arena I don't touch.
bullshit.
Yeah. So moving on from Pat, we're moving into the Tony Finau news that broke Twitter X the other day, which is that he is in negotiations. I confirmed it with multiple sources. Multiple. Okay. When you see sources and you see an S at the end, that means it's plural. It's more than one. I had
Really?
some
here we are.
jackass. I had some jackass that's like, oh, my buddy says that his source is telling him that Tony's not going. So it's like, listen, Tony Finau, he is in negotiations for the 14th franchise for LIV Golf. And remember, Tony Finau is pretty damn close to going last year.
Maybe
so
that's why Tiger uninvited him from the Hero.
Well, that started the speculation, right? And that actually got me making phone calls and so forth. And everybody that I talked to, like, yeah, and these are people that know what the hell is going on the phone between his camp and the LIV Golf camp. And I will tell you, one has direct knowledge of the actual negotiations, and it's all been around getting a franchise. Apparently, that was not an option last year for Tony. Because they were bringing over Rahm.
Let's be clear. Tony.
So they.
Sorry.
I was just going to say they wanted Tony to be on Rahm's team. And that was kind of an insult to Tony at the time, I believe. I don't know. That part of it, I don't know from Tony specifically, but they passed on the opportunity to join LIV. And they ended up going with Terrell Hatton. And, the rest was history with Legion 13. But this year, Tony is getting a franchise. Now, the one caveat to all of this is today, another great source that has direct knowledge within Tony, and is somebody that I will say he is, well, let me just put it this way. Got a direct answer from Tony that said, I'm not going.
What?
So... And I was a bit taken aback.
Not going now or not going ever?
Well, so here's the thing.
Who cares?
Just said that I'm not, that's the whole entire thing. Now, this is a negotiation, folks. So this isn't a done deal by any means with Tony Finau. It is just, it's very close in terms of those negotiations. But what do you guys think? Is this just a smoke screen like we've seen from some of the guys in the past? That's like, oh, yeah, I'm not going. I mean, we all knew Rahm was going a month in advance last year. So it's like...
Even though he said he didn't. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just bathing in my own fart over here. It smells like mildew. It's so bad. We don't know what obligations Tony has off the court that might need to be fulfilled prior to openly stating that.
$16 million he's being sued. And that's apparently going to hit the courts next year.
The first one got dropped. The second one was up for... Yeah, when I was in Utah this year, there were protests at the course on Monday.
What?
Yeah. And yeah, these people had organized protests telling Tony to remember who got him where he was and all that other stuff. The thing that people don't understand, I shouldn't say that. The thing, exactly. The thing that I texted somebody that is close with Tony and said, me, you, and Tony and some other guy would make a great LIV team. But what's amazing is what what a lot of people may not get is that his father went out long before Big Break and sold him and his brother Gipper to any and all comers. And that was, hey, give my boys money. We'll get you X%, whatever. And let's get these guys where they need to go. So they go on Big Break. Tony obviously wins Big Break. Gipper falls off, gets kicked out of multiple different associations, and basically is barred from playing professional golf in the Southwest. And then Tony obviously has his rise and is now what we know is today a multi-winner. And but what's incredible is why would it matter, I guess, for...
And not a soaker.
Yeah, not a soaker. No, that guy has a lot of kids. But what's my question is, and I guess this is to you, Matt. I mean, what would be the point of kind of dancing between it unless there is like a legitimate consequence if he actually says he's going, and then maybe the number doesn't maybe they're in negotiations, and so he doesn't want to say that he's going and then mess up any of the, he doesn't want to basically put his
Well, I
cards on
think
the
you just
table and
answered your own
says,
question.
is that I mean, that's kind of what it feels like, but it's Tony Finau. It's not,
What else
obviously the
could it
money
be?
doesn't matter.
Well, that's what I told the gentleman who I was talking to today. And I was just like, dude, you're telling me direct from Tony that he's not going, but I'm literally telling you that Tony is like, and here's the other part to this whole entire thing. And I hate to be kind of scatterbrained on it, but these agents are doing the negotiations with or without the players in a lot of these cases.
That's fair.
Like they're getting permission from the players to go figure out whatever is the best deal possible. So a lot of times these players aren't necessarily involved with what the hell is going on or where the negotiations stand. They give them some parameters. They're like, I know with Wyndham, for instance, like Wyndham was like, hey, if the offer's big enough, come to me with it. And that was a lot of what has happened with some of these guys. So when they're in negotiations like this, like there's no guarantee that Tony is absolutely gone and signed and so forth until Tony signs that damn piece of paper. But I'm fairly certain with everything that's gone on and the information that I have, the one sticking point for Tony for going over was having his own franchise. LIV has said that, hey, we're going to give you the 14th franchise because who's bigger right now that they can get? That's the other question.
He's a good pickup. I mean, there's probably a ton of people that they could get, but they're not going to pay.
But again, right? I mean, this is one of those things where it goes back to asking about what's actually happening with the PIF and the PGA Tour Enterprises deal.
So that's the other side of this.
If this is really about them, quote unquote, poaching another player, if that's the way somebody wants to look at it, I just look at it as somebody just getting paid to play less golf. But if it comes down to it, he's going to be able to have his own franchise and it be completely sanctioned by the PGA Tour, and then the news just completely goes away on it. And then you'll see.
It's also proof that LIV is not like just fizzling. I think a lot of people still think that they're just like
They
going.
still have a $1 trillion fund behind them. That hasn't gone away.
It's just getting bigger, and people have a hard time realizing that, I think.
And the fact that when this all goes down, like LIV's still going to be an entity.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's around.
So,
it's not going
so I
away.
guess really, I mean, to the golf fan out there, I mean, what is the difference between the LIV Tour now and the LIV Tour with basically some of the top PGA Tour players replacing some of these no-name guys, and it just basically be what it should have been from the beginning, which was a group of guys go out, play 10, 12 international tournaments, make a shitload of money, and everybody's better for it. I mean, if we were eventually going to get there anyways, what the fuck was the point of doing all of this other than a dick measuring contest, which they lost?
The first thing is PIF and DP World Tour are now one. Like, let's just put it that way, because these guys can go play in DP World Tour events. Like that whole thing of blocking these guys is gone. Like that is the tour right now for outside of the Asian Tour. Obviously they could play on that as well. That is owned by LIV. Or by PIF. That whole entire thing has now opened up to where it is not as daunting. And by the way, with the information that we have around the fact that in 2025, this whole entire merger is going to happen anyways, really the only backlash you could get by going and grabbing the money now is having PGA Tour brass being pissed off at you that you went when they're like, we're trying to close up this deal and you decided to freaking like deflect, and you kind of get blacklisted in a way. So I can see that as the deterrent. But why in the world, if you are one of these top guys, would you not go get that bag right now, knowing that this is all going down next year?
And like you just
But
said,
that's the other thing.
we
Sorry,
just
Buttsy.
said it. No, like now there's a ton more places you can play when there's live downtime.
I'm back. Sorry.
Oh shit! Forrest Gump froze again.
I'm back. He's back.
Hang on one second. Let me get this one thing out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because shit, I actually somewhat lost it. Buttsy, you had a really good point. So, Brent, over to you.
What I was saying was they're not. It's
ahead,
not
Buttsy.
less golf anymore. They have a whole new avenue now where when live is not playing golf, all these guys have places to go play if they want to.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. I mean, I think what this is going to end up being, and I really believe this is, you look at what has happened over the last 3 months with these decisions that have been made with regards to 2026, and it just so happens that right underneath the surface, all of this talk about the PIF merger is sort of it's there, but it's a foregone conclusion, right? Everybody kind of knows that it's going to happen because apparently, it got pretty much finalized in May. But what's amazing is, and I think Brian brings up a quite good point / question, is if a lot of these guys that initially signed, have their contracts kind of go away or they're not renewed or whatnot, and then 2025 goes off, whatever, and then you have the beginning of 2026 where PIF and PGA Tour merge, and then Live is now a proponent of the PGA Tour. Then essentially what it comes down to is you've got multiple teams now where these PGA Tour players are playing, and they play, like I said, 8 to 12 tournaments, and then they can take, watch, they'll make a rule where it says they're going to decrease the minimum amount of tournaments for these guys to play in order to keep their membership, and because they're going to count those live team events as events, and it's going to be something that is stone cold locked up for the top 30 in the world, and that's just again how it should have been in the beginning. But
in answer to Brian's question,
I was going to say, Brian,
I think that is accurate. Yeah,
it is.
That's accurate.
Brian Shane asked, serious question, with so many contracts expiring at the end of 2025, the PIF has indicated that franchises will have to pick up the costs of their team contracts. Is that accurate? It 100% is, because guess what? Dustin Johnson just had to negotiate a contract with Thomas Pieters to bring him over to the Four Aces. And that's why the writing's kind of on the wall for Pat. I wonder if somebody's going to pick up Pat.
And he'll be a free agent, it sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, I want to make one more point going back a year or so, when Liv started, and there was a resounding thing where people were like, these guys don't care anymore. They got so much money. All they care about is the money. They're playing less golf. Well, if that was true, why do you still have these guys wanting to go out to all these DP World events and all the chances that they have again to get world golf ranking points? They're still very much into competing, I think, and going and showing what they're made of. So back to that. They made a lot of money, but these guys still want to go play all over the world and win.
I mean, I think for some of them certainly, but for the majority of the guys that did get the cash, a Brooks or a Dustin, Cam Smith is rarely seen outside of the Asian tour. But you got to remember the Asian tour.
Be it over in Australia again.
Exactly, right? So the Asian Tour and the DP World Tour are two different things. They don't have to compete on the DP World Tour. They're not obligated to do so. So when you see them, so I'm adding to your point. So when you see them on the DP World Tour, that is by their own decision. That is not in their contract. When you
Right.
see them in the Asian Tour, that is absolutely 100% in their contract, and that's the only reason why they're playing. Well, I shouldn't say that. That's a major reason why they're playing.
I think you
But
have a
it's
pretty
totally different.
good percentage of the live field though, right? Where they are starting to venture out and play in these events that they don't have to be at. Is
Yeah, I
my
mean, a
point.
Dustin and a
Outside of guys like
Brooks
Dustin
and
Johnson,
Phil.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Dustin is in his retirement mode. I mean, you look at the picture of him; he's been eating healthy, and not healthy in terms of healthy food. He's been eating a healthy amount of food. I mean, Dustin is living the dream right now, and that was one of the rumors amongst all caddies and everybody. And we even had some sources that were like, "Oh yeah, that's real. We've heard it from Dustin
And
that after his 3-year contract, he's going to retire."
and they would
And
have done the same thing if there was no additional product to pay them an exuberant amount of money. They would have grabbed as much cash as they could on the PGA Tour as fast as possible and done the same thing, like tried
I
to
mean,
play less golf.
it's a tough thing, right? Because obviously these guys play 20 to 25 events anyways on the PGA Tour and amongst the majors, and maybe a BMW Championship or something like that in Europe. But for the most part, a guy like Dustin Johnson, having won the Masters, having won the U.S. Open, being one of the best players in the last 20 years, certainly one of the most consistent. A guy like that was just hoping for a payday that was big enough for
Right.
him to be able to take care of his family
And chill.
outside
but
and chill the
there is a
fuck out.
caveat to that, because Dustin Johnson, I think he actually likes it. That's
Oh,
why
I'm
he's
sure he
not
does.
retiring, because he's like, shit, I get to spend so much time on my yacht anyways with my
Yeah.
family and everything.
And
I'm
get to play a
only
little
going
golf.
to play in live golf events and the majors, and that's going to be good enough, and I'm going to keep it going, because there's no sign since him signing around that whatsoever. I think he actually enjoys that team
He
aspect.
still wants to play golf.
Yeah, but that's all. But that's the thing, right? Is that it's no longer about being out there on the grind, busting your ass
Correct.
to be the best player in the world. What it's about is I'm Dustin Johnson. I could pretty much beat anybody at any time, anyways. Getting off the couch, and so if I go out there with my B plus game, I'll be happy, and I get to make $100 million a
And he
year.
doesn't
Who gives a
have to
shit?
do that in a lot of the
No,
case. Like he doesn't
no.
have to play the majors. If he really just was in it, I mean, he's not as driven as some of these younger guys, right? Like maybe he
Look
doesn't
how
love.
much money those guys made in what was it, 2 years ago or last year or whatever it was? The
Yeah.
Aces won fucking everything. They
Yeah.
won everything. So yeah, they're still he's making even more money than he signed for. On top of what he signed for.
Or a guy
So
like
yeah,
Bryson is a good example too, right? Like this guy's got. I mean, he is
he
raking
still wants
in
to be
cash.
he still
He
wants
is.
to be the best player in the world.
He is fucking practicing probably more than he's at least as hard as anybody in the top 10 in the world, like on a daily basis. I believe.
The other side to this is that, and this is kind of old news now. I don't know if we mentioned this or not on our marathon of episode. Oh, I
Probably.
think it got
God.
cut last week. But good old Greg Norman is being replaced. So we had reported that, oh gosh, what the heck is his name? Last name is King. Mark King. I think it's Mark King.
Mark King. As in King Cobra.
Yeah, exactly. King Cobra, TaylorMade, and then ended up becoming the CEO of Taco Bell. And by the way, you can look into this timeline because he was technically supposed to be the first one to replace Greg Norman, and he ended up getting cold feet. So with everything that was going on with Live Golf and all the bad publicity and whatnot, and he had left Taco Bell at the time. So he ends up leaving Taco Bell and not moving forward with Live Golf. So he kind of became a free agent with that. But now we've got reports that Greg Norman is officially being replaced by Scott O'Neill as the CEO of Live Golf. Now, here's the thing. Greg Norman isn't technically going away because he's still under contract until, I believe, about August of next year. So with that said, they're just giving him a nice little role within the organization, we'll call it. But O'Neal, let's get back to him because this is a powerhouse guy.
Can you imagine owning Taco Bell, bro? I'd have a couch made out of sauce packets.
100%. I would be 5 times the size that I am now. I might actually order Taco Bell right after this podcast.
Yeah.
But O'Neal has a background in sports and entertainment. He's served as the CEO of the Philadelphia 76ers and the New Jersey Devils through Harris Blitzer's sports and entertainment company, and most recently was the CEO of Merlin Entertainments. The transition is expected to be announced soon, with O'Neal taking over the role from Norman, who will reportedly remain LIV Golf in a senior leadership position. Basically, it's a sayonara. Here's your office. See you later. So, bye-bye. I hate to put it that way because Greg's done what Greg needed to do, right? Yeah. He was polarizing. He was the opposite of the PGA Tour. He was the perfect guy to be the adversary to the PGA Tour.
Villain.
Oh, he's got more of a grudge than anybody against the PGA Tour. I mean, there is no successful golfer, I think, outside of maybe Phil, that holds more of a grudge than Greg Norman.
Also, if there's not a sign, folks, that the PGA Tour was like, there's no effing way this merger can go through, and we're dealing with Greg Norman as the CEO of LIV Golf. So it's like, once again, this all points towards 2025
so sad,
and everything going through. And then
sad.
A little gem for all the LIV Golf fans that are listening in to this episode. I found this out today. Nico Echavarria. He was been on a hell of a run, right?
Yeah.
He's apparently going to LIV.
How did you find that out?
Sources.
Sources.
No. This one is a source. But
I'll have to call him.
This is a very good source.
Shoot him a text.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with this. Nico, who I graduated with and I've known for years, pretty much until 2 seconds ago, was not playing consistent golf. And I would say was bottom 120 at best for quite some time. Not that he's not talented, not that he's not incredible, but the consistency that he has found on the PGA Tour will absolutely blow up in his face if he goes to the LIV Tour, because they don't play enough, the competition is not high enough, and it will be there.
Maybe he knows that.
Maybe he does know that, but he's my age, and I can tell you that having won the Zozo, having played what he did this fall, having won Puerto Rico last year, he is trending in a direction that can only be sustained on the PGA Tour. It cannot be sustained on the LIV Tour, and that's
what if he goes and plays DP and it fills his schedule?
I mean, I guess he could, but then what would be the point of going to play the LIV Tour for what, $1 million?
To have a lot more money to sit on, so that
there's no way those guys are paying him more than $1 million to go play.
Is he playing in the Hero?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, see, between him and Finau, if they were playing, it's absolutely a major.
Don't forget Spieth and Xander.
Yeah, but they haven't been playing well, especially Xander.
Yeah, just number 2 player in the world.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, for a guy like that, obviously, I have a different perspective because I know him personally and have known him for years. But I mean, just from a perspective of golf.
Poor Brent. Brent's going to be on the phone after this, calling Nico, going, "Are you going,
dude? You're a fucking idiot." I'd be like, "Bro, you're in a position to make more money than you could ever make, and you get to play 25 events a year, and just wait a year." I mean,
dude, he caught fire at the right time. He won multiple events.
He's perfect to go now.
And this is his moment to go. He knows. He knows, dude. He's like,
You
I'm 30
should
years
call him up and
old.
tell him to put your fucking name in the hat.
God, it's just so dumb. So dumb. Not that I wouldn't. Not that I. It's different
You
in
just
a
got to get on
position.
Finau's team, bro.
I do. I know. I literally texted a guy who knows him very, very well, and I said, "It's me, you, and him, and we'll go, and
Well,
it'll
hang
be
on
a
a sec. Are
blast."
you saying if that wasn't offered to you that you wouldn't take it?
I think there's no point in Nico's position.
Yeah, but if you were him, you'd say no.
The
I wanna
number's
stay.
not. There's no way the number's high enough. The number's not fuck you money. It's not fuck you money.
It's
There's no
every
way.
tournament is fuck you money.
Ah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. $4 million after taxes. I mean, that's not. Come on.
Well, if he stays on the PGA Tour, he's not going to fucking touch that.
What are you talking about?
He's not going to have the opportunity. He's going to have the
You're
opportunity to make 10 years
you're
PGA
you're
Tour money
set
in a year.
for. He's first of all, the position that he's in next year, playing in all the elevated events, makes him almost a shoe in to be inside the top 50 of the next year, which is
I think
fucking
we need to know what the
ungodly.
number
But
is. 'Cause
you have to understand too that he's going to fit in with that Latin crew.
yeah, and if they gave him 50 million, like
They're not
even,
giving him that money. There's
well,
no
we don't
fucking.
know. We don't
There's no
know.
fucking way. He's,
You
he's
have to remember, Brent, that this if he's negotiating with PIF, he could end up getting even a 10 mil deal like
he
Pat
could.
Perez got.
He
Yeah.
could. Yeah, but that was because Pat went early though. And Pat was a steady journeyman guy that kept his card forever.
Yeah,
10
but
mil for a
Liv still
trending
has
young
to fill
star.
some spots.
Oh no,
10
don't
mil
get me
for a
wrong.
trending
Don't get me
young
wrong.
star on his way up, like that seems like nothing. Like they're
I
not.
hope he gets. I hope he gets fucking 30. But what I'm saying is I don't look at him and see. But see again, it just goes right back to this thing that if the deal gets done, what does any of this matter? If the deal gets done and they get to fall under the PGA Tour
He's going to have a
umbrella,
lot more money and he'll be
it won't
playing better.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
won't
why the
matter.
person I was talking to today literally was just like, what do you mean? Like players should like there should be a lot of players wanting to go over to live right now. And I explained to him. And he's like, holy shit. He's like, I don't think the players know this.
No,
You know?
we don't have any idea.
Because yeah, everybody's kind of being like, well, it might go through, it might not. It's taken such a long time. Where we've reported on it, and it's like, no, guys, like this is happening.
It's got to be at least 50-50 odds. And if it's 50-50 odds, if I'm him, I'm doing it. Like, all fucking
You also
day.
don't want to be a Jon Rahm either, where you're just like so like resentful to the fact that you can't play in tour events anymore because you signed and you literally thought the deal was going to happen.
No, John's past that now. He's accepted it. He's a YouTube golfer now.
But you know for a fact, and we all have heard the whispers, right? I spoke to people that are close to him, and he wishes he could go back and give the money back and play on the PGA Tour. He absolutely does. And it's simple. And the simple fact is this: he won multiple times. He won a major. He was number one player in the world, or at least close to it. Certainly battling for it every single week, and he was making money doing what he's been doing for the last 15 years, which is beating the shit out of people. And then he goes and he's basically playing Papa Bear to his fucking team.
Yeah, but if he only has to be away from the game, like the PGA Tour game, for 2 or 3 years, and then he's right back in there anyways, like then
That's
all.
what we
That's the whole
assume.
thing. He had some bad information.
Yeah.
He was told, sign this deal, and you are going to be right back playing in PGA Tour events
In
next
a year. Yeah.
And it wasn't even that. He legit thought that a deal was going to get announced in January, and he was going to be right back playing in all the big events. Not the case.
Yeah. It's really sad. I mean,
Not yet.
And to kind of touch on what Trot just said, I think there's a difference between a guy like myself and a guy like Nico Echavarria. I think what a lot of people they may not see is that if you've never been in that position to be playing for that kind of money, yes, of course. But if you have the opportunity right there in front of you and you're going to trade it for another opportunity that you believe is better, that's fine. I'm not sitting here saying that you're that you're stupid for thinking that. Obviously, it's a lot of money, but he's in every elevated event. He's got every perk you could ever possibly imagine, and there's absolutely nothing that's going to keep him from playing in those events unless he decides that he wants to go play the LIV Tour, which is fine. But I just don't see a point.
Sounds like you're a little upset that Nico's going.
No, I think it's going to be great. I want him to make I love the guy. I really do.
There's no
I want him
jealousy
to make
this,
as
right?
much money. No, God, no. He's fucking earned it. I just don't think at this point in what is he going to play it for a year or two, and then hopefully he doesn't get replaced. I mean, because this is the thing that happens. Who's going to be more relevant in the world rankings, right? A guy that does what Nico has done and continues to do so, and then when the LIV deal gets done, the PIF deal gets done, and they fall under the PGA Tour, and they go, okay, well, all these guys have their contracts blown. You, and you are all gone, and we're picking up you, and you, and then all of a sudden, now it's more relevant than it's ever been, and all this other stuff. Is Nico going to be able to keep up the same level of play in those DP World events in order to do that?
Dude, you kind of called it when, and I don't think you meant to do this, but you kind of called it when you said that, Nico hasn't really been all that consistent. He's been a guy that's kind of hung around 120th. It just got passed that, the tour's going down to 100 cards. Yeah. So if you're Nico and you just won a couple events and you're on a high, you're gonna go take that money, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know anybody that sits there and looks at their games and goes, "Man, I think I'm only good enough to do this," but certainly not in his position. But I mean, I just would look at the fact that he's playing all those elevated events, which are statistically, it's virtually it's almost impossible to fall outside of those elevated events when you get to play them, all 8 of them, including the majors. So
he's going to go out on
LIV. Get this confirmed for us after Q School this week.
He's going to win a LIV event, like the first 4 or 5. He's going to win one of them, and everything's going to be fine.
I mean, for him personally.
But get this confirmed for us.
I'll do my best.
By the next show.
I'll do my best. Yeah.
Because...
Big news. Nico Echavarria, a golfer who you guys didn't hear of until 2 seconds ago. That's kind of funny.
I'm still laughing at the people on the Tony Finau stuff. Was just like,
oh God,
he's not that big of a deal. He's a terrible golfer. It's not a loss to the PGA Tour at all. And I'm just sitting there going, he's number 13 on the PIP list. Like, that's pretty fucking, like, he's top 20 of the most popular golfers.
Those are the same guys, dude. Those are the same people that said LIV Tour's got like 3 good players. And then year 2,
to be fair,
and they almost won every major. Like, I don't know. These guys are full of shit.
The players that they have that are really good are some of the best players in the world. But as we just saw with Jon Rahm, he went from arguably the best player in the world to not making a cut in any of the majors. So I think that it's kind of odd that these players, how they are on the PGA Tour.
I like what you just did. I like what you just did there with the whole Jon Rahm thing. But you also have to understand, I've analyzed this. With Jon Rahm, he needs a year, and you saw it at the end of the year. He started to finally figure it out. He took too much time away from the game.
Oh, no doubt. And he had kids and all that other stuff.
Oh, he was I'm not saying he was playing in the skins games out here.
Yeah.
And not competitively either.
No.
Well, you're taking one guy and saying it had a bad effect on him.
Well, not just him. There's Dustin Johnson.
No, I think
then you got
with change. Hang on.
LIV Tour players are winning majors.
With change, I will tell you this: when you go over to LIV, I'm telling you right now that you are going to go through a transition. We saw it with Cam Smith. Cam Smith needed to figure it out because he took too much time off. Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys, when they come over to LIV, have a bunch of freedom all of a sudden. A lot of free time, and they've got a lot of money in their bank accounts, and all of a sudden it makes you not really grind and go to the range and dig it out of the dirt, as Tiger said.
For some of
them. But there's a transition. Certainly. Because just like with any major sport league in America, and this is to the defense of LIV Golf, by the way, that you've got the Major League Baseball, you've got NBA, you got the NFL. There's tons of guaranteed money, but the guys that are getting that money, even after they get it, a lot of times still play at a super high level.
Somehow we have like eclipsed the hour. Matt Cook, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, currently battling COVID.
This
not
guy
COVID.
Is incredible. It's the real fucking influenza is what it is. And I did hear from multiple people that like everybody I'm talking to is like, oh yeah, I had that last week. Oh yeah, I know 5 people that have that right now. I'm like, fuck.
Happens every 3 to 5 years. A massive influenza thing happens.
Maybe that's what,
ladies and gentlemen,
Utah Soakers, the Utah Soakers, starring Buttsy, Brent Grant, aka Forrest Gump, and yours truly, Matt Cook.
Matt, you know what you should do, Brent? Just have the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company sponsor the team.
How do I get that done?
We'll talk about that offline. Peace out, everybody. Have a good night.